If there was no virus, then how did everybody die? And the truth is, they were murdered in the hospitals. That's right. They were fucking murdered in the hospitals. Nobody died from COVID outside the hospital, only inside. So they turned up the radiation. They made everybody sick. Everybody then ran out and got tested. The tests were all rigged to give off false positives. So everybody thought they had COVID. Meanwhile, nobody had nothing. The people with the weaker immune systems, the older folk, ended up in the hospital. Once they were in the hospital, they were intentionally given bad medication that made them worse, to the point they had to get put on a ventilator, and then the ventilator fucking killed them. And that's what they did. They fucking murdered everybody in the hospitals. Your grandparents, your friends, your family, they were fucking murdered by these fucking cunt motherfuckers. This cunt motherfucker right here and all these fucking cunt motherfuckers, they're all in on it. It's a one world government. The whole world got bent over and fucked right up its ass by these fucking cunt motherfuckers.
To be said. Fauci, the media, big pharma, politicians, medical professionals, and governments around the world colluded to create the biggest fear-mongering psyop of our generation. They coerced people into taking an experimental gene therapy with no long-term double-blind placebo-controlled studies. They made pharmaceutical companies billions of dollars while providing them with zero liability for any harm or injuries caused. For the 10% of us who were brave enough to resist, we were gaslit, ostracized, and ridiculed for years. Let me make my position very clear. I'm for free speech, personal agency, and medical consent. I'm strongly against coercion of any kind, full stop. We now know there's data published in the public medical journals on increasing cancer, stroke, autoimmune disorders, paralysis, cardiovascular issues, and death. Along with that, there's data on the effects of lockdowns, masks, school closures, and even the decision to close beaches in California when people were simply trying to get outside, be in nature, get in the sunlight, some of the best things you can do for your health. They also told us that once you got the vaccine, you wouldn't get COVID or transmit it, which turned out to also be not true. In addition to that, pharmaceutical companies testified in front of Congress, admitting that they knew these things and chose not to tell us. Guys, where did all the trust and
race to defend Fauci right now is objectively hilarious because what are you defending? Fauci himself admitted that the 6-foot social distancing rule was made up, that masking was ineffective, that children were not at risk, while simultaneously bragging about getting the schools shut down, which led to learning delays, developmental delays, speech delays, a mental health crisis for our youth. Did you know that during that period of COVID, there were more youth suicides than COVID deaths? That's true. Did you know that? I'm not done. His lockdowns led to rates of alcoholism, drug abuse, overdoses, and domestic violence all increasing, to hundreds of thousands of small businesses having to close their doors permanently, which helped to facilitate the greatest wealth transfer in modern history. But wait, there's more. How many hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people lost their jobs for refusing to take a vaccine that was neither safe nor effective? Quite the opposite. Dangerous and ineffective. A vaccine that he wanted to mandate, to force upon the population. He himself said that he wanted to make life so difficult for the unvaccinated that they would have to lose their ideological bullshit and take the vaccine. That's his quote. We're still cooking. Fauci supported businesses being fined for employing the unvaxxed. People were denied life-saving surgery because they were not vaccinated. Helpful, useful, effective therapeutics like ivermectin were smeared and demonized because if an effective therapeutic existed, then they could not implement an emergency order. Not to mention the faked hospital records. If somebody died of cancer but they had COVID, it was listed as a COVID death. If somebody died in a car crash who had COVID, it was listed as a COVID death. If somebody walked into the ER with a broken arm and even had a trace of COVID in their system, it was listed as a COVID-related hospitalization. And I'm sure there's more. I'm sure that I've missed things. What are you defending?
Individuals, they find it for the first time. And they found multiple micro scars in their heart. This has never been seen before in the myocardium. The authors even state that. They say they've never seen it in 30 years. We think this is because actually the mRNA gets into the heart, and your heart starts to produce spike protein. And these, you see these scarring spots on there. That's probably where the spike protein was produced. The body attacked it, inflamed it, and it got scarred. It's scarred up, and so it's an autoimmune response. And then they're left with this, and they get electrical conduction abnormalities in the heart, and that leads to these lethal arrhythmias, this ventricular tachycardia, and eventually sudden death. And so this is just proof in the cake that, you know, look in people's hearts. This is what it does. It's dangerous, it's cardiotoxic, and they've got to get off the